we talk conformity for a minute? Because I remember a time when I was becoming someone to please someone else, and it definitely was not of God. I definitely understand now why the Bible says not to conform to the patterns of the world, but to be transformed by the renewing of our minds so that we can be able to discern the will of God. And I remember a time in my life where I had gotten so used to being rejected and abandoned that I thought it was better, it was easier to just become what people needed me to be or whatever they wanted me to be so that they could keep me close. Whatever language I had to speak, whatever actions I had to take, or whatever behaviors I had to mold myself to, that even though they were not me, or even though I knew better, I still was like, if it keeps them around and if it keeps them happy, if it keeps them happy with me, then it's okay. I'll do it. And I did not realize until now, because that is like one of my favorite verses, top verse. Okay, Romans 12, 1 and 2 are my absolute favorite verses, period. Okay, they are number one on the list of my favorite verses. So for me to live a life now that I hope is pleasing to God, and to want to live my life and to present myself, God, whatever way that you want me to be or need me to be, transform me into that, because that's who I really am anyways. That's the thing. That's who I really am anyways. What you created me to be and how you created me, that's who I really am. And the transformation, the renewing of my mind, the transformation that's happening is me turning or me becoming that individual, that person that God originally created. And it's merely me like deconstructing what I thought I had to be. And I didn't even know for so long that me even conforming and trying to be whatever I need to be loved, to be accepted, to be received, was survival. Like that was me trying to survive. But I'm so glad that with God, we can just live and be who we are called to be, who we are meant to be in Christ Jesus. I thank God there's a freedom in not living to please man, but please God, because our pleasing God is literally our life pleasing to God is literally, even though it doesn't come without challenges and stuff still, because the world is still the world, but there's a freedom in just being or becoming who God called you to be. And that time in my life when I was conforming, I look back now and I just think, oh, Jamisha, if only you knew, if only you knew, and if only you could see yourself as well, and if you could see what God sees instead, then you would stop. You would stop trying to talk like them. You would stop trying to walk like them. You would stop trying to do the things that they do so that they can say, oh, you're one of us, so that you could belong. You would stop trying to do that, and you would just be who God created you to be. And you would be happy with that. It's more fulfilling to live our lives or to be who God created us to be. It literally, I can't explain it, like our flesh convinces us that it feels better to do and to be whatever the world or whatever man wants us to be. But our spirit, our soul truly knows that it's more fulfilling to be who God called us to be, or who God created us to be. So to that person right now who's listening to my voice, I have a testimony. I have been in that place where I have felt like I had to be, I had to do, I had to shrink myself, or I had to do something that was outside of God, or outside of His will, or outside of His command, to be loved by someone else, or to be accepted, to be finally chosen by someone else. I want you to know that God, the creator of the universe, is the one who deems you worthy to be chosen. He is the one who loves you inside, outside, all of it, front, back, all the way around. He is the one, because he's the one who gave his son for your life, for your soul. He is the one that if you would to conform, or if you would to turn into anything for anyone, turn into who he called you to be. Turn into him. Shift yourself to please him, because if you shift yourself to please him, you find yourself becoming exactly who you are supposed to be. and you find yourself coming into a freedom. Now, not to say that there's not a challenge with, getting off that people pleasing. Yeah, it comes with a little bit of challenge because you still do have to endure rejections, and God teaches us how to deal with those rejections and those people who decide to leave us because of who we truly are. But once we have found ourselves attached to God and concerned with what He thinks, and concerned with what His will is, and concerned with everything that is His purpose and His plan, all of that stuff can begin to go out the window. All of that stuff, you begin to find that it does not even matter. You begin to find that you were living life under the means that God called you to when you were trying to live to please man, when you were trying to live to please that woman, when you were trying to live to please that man, when you were trying to live to please your mom, when you were trying to live to please your dad. You find out that the freedom is living to please God. Don't be conforming to the patterns of this world so that you can fit in. You are called to be set apart. Period. You are called because you are in this world, but you are not of it. You are not like this world. You were made in the image of God. You were made to commune with Him. You were made to fellowship with Him. You were made to fulfill the purpose that He originally gave you. So you are never going to fit in with what this world is trying to do. You'll never fit in with what the flesh and all that is trying to do, but you will fit in to God's plan, to His way, to His work, to His will, to what it is that He has written, or He has formed, or He has set for your life. You will fit into that. And as you do be transformed by Him, you will come into greater things. You will come into greater relationship, more security. You will come into real identity. You will come into real confidence. You will come into a place, a real place, an authentic place. And that's one of the things that I advocate for, and that I truly believe in, is authenticity. And even though myself is still learning a lot about me and becoming and discovering more of me, I believe that true connection comes when we are authentically us. So all the bonds and relationships that we have created from this identity, or what we have conformed to survive, were not built to last anyways. The foundations were already faulty. But when we are pursuing God, and we are pursuing who we are in Him, and we are becoming who we are supposed to be in Him, the relationships that we build through that, they're not built on people pleasing. They're not built on one person's opinion, one person's like. They're not built on that, but they are built on the solid plan of God, the solid purpose of God, the solid love of God. They are built on something solid. So stop conforming. Stop thinking that you have to be something, or be whatever it is that that person or those people want you to be, to belong. Because even when life comes and challenges them, or challenges that, you still run the risk of being loosed, and being rejected, and being abandoned. So there's no promise in it. There's no surety in any of it. But there is certainty and surety in who God called you to be. And there is certainty and surety in that you are chosen. There is certainty and surety in that His love will not leave you. His love will not reject you. If you reject Him, that's one thing. You reject Him, then hey, that of course. But He has not rejected you. He has not abandoned you. He wants you to come into Him, and He wants you to come into Him to find, to discover, to rediscover even what you may have put away because you were trying to please, or trying to become something else so that you could survive. My prayer is that many people, especially other women like me, moms, wives, those who have kind of lost themselves after life has happened, after life changes, lost yourselves because you did not understand the purpose, or you did not understand your purpose, or you did not understand ultimately what God called you to do, or what He created, or what He placed in you, or what He wants to use. You didn't understand all that, but this is a call now for many of us to come to understand that, so that we can truly begin to live life abundantly, And not only that, so that what it is that God is trying to do in the earth right now, in this realm right now, can come to pass, and that we can even be able to pass on to our children, the next generation, the generation after, as they come up, we be able to pass these things down to them, and they be solid in their identities. They be solid in their relationships with God. They be solid in who they are, and not be able to be influenced or shifted or changed or conform, to whatever is the trend, or to whatever works, or to whatever keeps them safe. So stop conforming. You don't have to conform. God has already called you. He's already written your life. He's already placed in you what needs to be placed in you. He's already given you an identity. You just need to find it in Him. You just need to seek it out in Him. And you just need to let Him work in you to heal you, to deal with the wounds of rejection, of abandonment, so that really become, you can really become what it is, or who it is that He's called you to. And so that you can know what it's like to live life truly free. My name is Jamisha Roberts, and I have a testimony about this. I wrote this book called Broken Bones Do Heal to tell my story about how God brought me from this low place in my life, dealing with rejection, abandonment, and even just being in the world and sinning and doing what I want to do. He brought me from that place, redeemed me, and has set me on a course, a path that I never would have thought. I never would have thought, though all those years ago, I never would have thought. And I'm sharing this story with you because I want you to know there's hope. And I want you to know that no matter what you've done in the past, that no matter what you've been through, that God can take what you have done, and even what you've been through, and He can use that to propel you, to catapult you into something great. There's still wonderful works that are prepared for you to do in Him. And I want to encourage you to take to God what you have, to take to Him all the wounds that you have, to take to Him what is left of you, or what you feel is left of you, so that He can begin to do a beautiful work inside of you to bring you to that place too. I want you to know that there's hope, that broken bones do heal, that it's not the final say, or that your what you believe is your brokenness, or what you believe is the end now, what you believe can only be, it's not the end. There's still more. There's still great things, that life gets better than this with Him. Life gets better than this with Him. I want to invite you to visit my website, www.justdemetriaofficial.com, so that you can read more about the mission of Broken Bones to Heal and grab your copy. And after you read it, I want to ask that you head over to Amazon and leave a review. I pray that something in it blesses you, leads you back to God's feet, and gives you true hope that there is more.